human beings, or you don't see animals trying to impose their will on some other creature. You don't see the whales or the sharks or any of the animals and mammals of the ocean come out to seek to take control of the creatures on land. You don't see it. But in man, you see a state of total confusion and total rebellion. Man is seen conquering everything, dominating everything. But God gave man that kind of power. He gave him dominion over the fowl of the air, the fish of the sea, and over every creeping thing that crawleth. God gave it to him. But God gave us order, and He gave us a law by which we would find success. But because He gave us the freedom of choice, then man can say to God, I don't want your law. I want to do it my way. Like a child. I don't care. I want to do this, God. Well, look, son, I'm telling you, if you keep on going this way, you're going to meet your own doom, your own fate. You want to? I'll take my chances. That's how we are. We challenge nature. We challenge God to where we cannot challenge Him any further, and we're forced to submit. But we will go up and all the way to that stage or that level where we can't go any further. But that's just in us. And during this whole period of trillions of years, man has been undoing himself that he may find God and finally submit to God. But because it is in our nature, then Allah, being the wise God, lets us to exhaust ourselves and the wisdom and the knowledge that man thinks that he has. Because it doesn't matter if God says, I'm the best knower. This is why, and this is a deep thing here, God hid Himself. It's in the Bible. He hid His face from the people. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that Allah hid Himself and concealed His identity, and the knowledge of God was kept from the people, not just in the last 6,000 years that white folks have been ruling, not from 50,000 years when our father Shabazz rebelled, but going all the way back 66 trillion years ago. The knowledge of God had been concealed and kept from the people. Look, I mean, I know I'm dropped that out there, and I unfortunately am not a wise man and cannot explain to you all the reasons why. But one of the lessons has been for man to find himself and to show you the kind of forces that man has to contend with within himself. Not so much with the female, but with the male. God, being a man, He always has been. And the Quran proves that God is a man by constantly referring to the prophets being men, mortal men like unto you, like yourselves. And the people find this to be one of their most difficult trials. It's the wisdom that's coming from a man, and how this could be a human being reflecting and revealing such high wisdom. So the people in the time of all of the prophets said, how? This is just a mere mortal like ourselves. What makes him better than I? And that has always been because man is always seeking the position of power. And as men, although we respect one another's wisdom, we have our own thoughts that are kept hidden. And wherever there's a powerful black man, even though as a body of men we'll support him, and to use the leader as a good example, every man around him is judging his character. Yeah. And trying to figure out why him and not me? What makes him so special? I'm a mortal like him. Why, God, would you make him like this and not me? I gave you the same offering. You bidded the same work from me. Why did you take his and not mine? Story of Cain and Abel. See, it's men. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but it just doesn't happen among females. Because man has always been in power. I don't know if you all had the power if it'd be the same. Can never be. Thank you. You can't. Because the nature of the female is already in submission to God. That's why we got a difficult time with our female today. Because they just see man coming out of us. They don't want the man. They want the characteristics of a man, the qualities of a man, but they're really looking for God in a man. And if we reflect God, we don't have a problem with her. But we keep trying to be, me. I'm the best knower. You submit to me, woman. What's the matter with you? No. Allah says, I'm the best knower. That's our problem as men. I don't want to dwell on this point too long. But that God and the knowledge of God was kept hidden. And it had not been revealed until the coming of God himself in 1930. And for the first time in nearly 66 trillion years, the knowledge of God is being revealed. But a knowledge that is not a stranger to man himself. Because when you look at your history, you have always proven to yourself that there is no God but you. I'm talking about bad now. Because of God's absence, the people resorted into worshiping and making carved images and everything out of God, but they never recognized man as God or themselves as God. So they went outside of self to worship a power that was made from their own hands. Isn't that something? To take wood and carve it up and say, this is my God. It has power. And it's your hands, your mind, that gave it power. And now you will surrender yourself and bow down to something that you have fashioned and made with your own hands. And that's something else. It is, isn't it? When you just look at it, I look at our people. all of the original people of the planet, they are steeped in idol worshiping. They worship the rain, they worship the sun, they worship the wind, the serpent, this thing, that thing, gold and silver, copper, stone. And they really believe that many of these images have power. Superstitious belief dominates us. Oh yeah. Grandmother tell us something. Oh man, look. That's a whole subject. Voodoo and all of that. But we're so spooked out as a people. We really are. And to think that is so unreal that we will be so attracted to that kind of talk. And somebody comes and says, oh man, please. You see that rain? It's nothing but rain. It's produced by the attraction of the sun on the earth, and it draws this water, pulls it up into the clouds, and then it comes back to earth. It's nothing but rain. Brother, you see this? You see that? God is not a spook, not a spirit. He's not something floating out here. It's you. Now, we find that difficult to accept. We find that so hard. And all those other myths, we really find some substance in that. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? Really, it is. It's psychotic, out of touch with reality. That's exactly right. We're so far out of touch with reality, brother and sister. Look, I could bring a blackboard right now, and we could go over, point by point, how far we are from reality. That's the white man's world. And that is a result of his thinking. Because as long as he can keep you out of touch with reality, he can use you as a tool and also a slave. But to put you in touch with reality means the white man has no power. Makes sense, doesn't it? So the white man, God coming now to put you in power must bring you back in touch with reality. Bring you back in touch with yourself. So the religion, when it's presented to you, will make sense. And a child will understand. And you will learn the knowledge first of yourself. And that kind of knowledge will lead you to greater and greater knowledge, but it'll all be real. It'll all be something that you can touch. Something that makes mathematical sense. So, I want to talk about something else. I got into the 66 trillion years. I don't know how I got out there. That was probably Minister Abdullah over there. But you know, look, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings are so deep. I mean, look, everything that he taught us, the white man is showing us today. Everything. The white man is making you to bear witness. If you have any sense, you only need to read Message to the Black Man and turn on the news and say, this Negro has some sense. He's telling the truth. It don't take much. Because everything, even the way out stories that we would like to charge Elijah Muhammad with, from the making of the moon to the making of the devil, white folks right now are all in to the life cell. And I was talking to you a few weeks ago about cloning and how that devil has mastered it. Yeah, and look, that's not all he can do. He can preserve you now. He's been doing that for a while too. But I don't want to talk about those scientific things right now. I want to keep us to what's happening. And I want to close this with this. Brother Farrakhan warned us that white folks were planning our death and our destruction. Did he not? And in Los Angeles, he made it very clear that he was setting us up for the slaughter. The image that is sent of black folks all around the world is that kind of image that will make any decent, civilized society reject us and condone that kind of slaughter if white folks go out here and start slaughtering us. Through the music and through those movies, we have made a bad image of ourselves. Terrible image. And that kind of ignorance and disrespect of self with the foul language and the killing of one another, that is what is engraved in the minds of other nations all over the world. A recent movie came out, which I was reminded today in talking with Minister Ava Muhammad, and I saw it in Los Angeles one evening. I really fell asleep on most of it, but it's called Demolition Man. Now, every movie, they don't put out these movies well, they put them out to entertain you, but there's truth in it. The messenger said everything that they put on the screen, there's some truth in it. And they're telling you a story. But if you're not wise and have not been trained in your thinking how to read into what he's putting out there, which is really telling his story on how he sees where he is in the present and where he will be in the future. In every movie that white folks have put out for the period of 1996, 97, 98, 99, the year 2000, they show their world in total confusion. A society that's ungovernable, where murderers and all types of criminals dominate the society, and the rich have disconnected themselves from those people and, of course, live somewhere where they can't be touched. Am I right? Now, this movie has, right on the poster, Sylvester Stallone and Snipes facing each other. Snipes is made up blonde hair, blue eyes. What does that mean? Means the devil, but he's showing you that this Negro wants to be like me. Yeah. They could have left him with black hair. Now, they begin this fight. Now, I'm just going on. It's been some weeks since I saw it. I thought it was a terrible movie. I mean, as far as a movie, it was, I was nodding all through the movie. But there were a lot of signs. Wesley Snipes, they're in 1996. They're fighting, and something the police catch them, and then they're preserved through process of, I think it's called cyber genetics. Cyber genetics. They freeze them. Then, I think, is it 30 years later, or nearly 40 years? Okay, then in the year 2026, y'all have good memories. You can tell I'm sleepy through this movie. 2026. And they show a society that is at peace. They don't know anything about war. And these white folks are enjoying a good life. They unthaw the brother. I think he was up for parole, and he kills up some folks. Bottom line is you're looking at nearly 40 years from now. The message is these Negroes are criminals. They are murderers. They don't belong in decent, civilized society. And if you allow them to live, they will destroy our peace in the future with their savage ways. Oh, yeah. That's the bottom line of the movie. But look at even how those white folks were dressing in the movie. They started showing you that they were the chosen people. Oh, yeah, they had dress 19s in the movie. That's what they looked like to me. Did they? Oh, yeah. Go see it for yourself. They got robes on and fezzes. Who saw the movie? Bear me witness. Did they have fezzes on? Did they try and look kind of holy? Ain't no white folks don't dress like that. But in this movie, they're dressing with these type of robes. I'll tell you that the outfits are like Sister Tinetta Muhammad's design. Oh, where was that? Really? Brother, remind me down the post that says the universe is not big enough for the both of us. Yeah, Demolition Man. But that's the way white folks think, man. They don't see a place where the both of us can live in peace. One of us got to go. That is what is real. That is what Brother Farrakhan is trying to tell us. They'll put it on screen and we go out and pay $6 or $7 to pay to see a movie and get entertained, come out laughing. We don't know what the hell white folks were just trying to tell you. The wise of them know exactly what the movie means. It means that black folk are the criminals of society. And they disrupt the peace of the white man's world, and therefore we must get rid of them. Why did they preserve him? And to show that he cannot be preserved, because inherent in him is a savage, beast-like attitude and behavior. And blacks, there's no good in them. And so therefore, if he's allowed to live, he will infect our society. They, in the movie, white folks didn't even know how to deal with the brother. The brother was just killing them like, just killing them. They were just, they'd never seen it before. Yeah. And then they killed him viciously at the end. Think they cut off his head? Yeah. Smashed his brains or something. Took his eye out. But brothers and sisters, this is real. Gotta give you a shock treatment tonight that this thing is real, what Brother Farrakhan is telling us. White folks have planned our death. They planned it. And they're just waiting for the opportune moment. But you know what is destroying their plans? God. God. Because God is revealing their plans. White folks are upset that God has revealed them through his servant, that his servant now is warning you. And if you hear the message and act upon the principles that Brother Farrakhan is laying for us for our own salvation, then we can live. But white folks have set us up for the slaughter, just like Brother Farrakhan said, and they'll make a movie and they'll do a lot more. But they are tired of us. They really are. But God is letting that heat come on us because we are not only, we're tired of ourselves. And God also is getting tired of us. He's getting tired of us wanting to be a nigger. I gotta just say it the way it is. We enjoy ignorance. We enjoy acting a fool. God is tired of his people acting a fool. So God will bring on the fire of white folks on us, forcing us now to say, ooh, as Brother Farrakhan said, our moral standard and cleaning up is of the greatest importance, that we now give a better image to the world by cleaning ourselves up and acting like intelligent human beings. Otherwise, we can forget it, because not one nation out there, no matter how much our brothers in Africa claim to love us, they won't come to our aid. Not under that. Yeah? This is real. And what we have better do is follow the first law of nature, which is self-preservation. And if we have any sense, then we will be looking for that kind of prescription that will save our lives. So I'm going to close on that, because, brothers and sisters, in this wonderful book, Torchlight, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan writes that without a moral backbone, the nation cannot stand upright. Those creatures that have a backbone but cannot stand upright are known as four-legged beasts. Those creatures that have no backbone are generally belong to the species called serpents. It is written in Genesis that beasts and serpents caused the fall of man. So the Quran says, set your face upright to the religion of Islam, the true religion. Upright. You have a backbone. But the moral backbone of us has been totally broken by white folks, that we now don't walk upright. We walk like him on all fours, seeking the things on this level. You don't see us searching for the things on this level, because even our eyesight is pointed downward. It's not up, it's down. And white folks make sure that they feed us everything that is below the navel. He keeps feeding you that which inclines you to the lower desires of self. And that he feeds to you day in, day out. Every second of the day, you turn on the radio, you turn on the TV, he's feeding you sex, 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 sex. Every time you turn the channel, sex. And more subliminal seductions, and all in his advertisement. It has been proven even to the artistic design that he lays out on a bottle of whiskey or this thing. It's all sex at the root, keeping you like a beast, hungering after each other. So when you meet one another, you're not thinking about getting to know one another on this level. You want to get to know one another on this level down first. The hell with this. And now AIDS is killing us. You see, he sets us up for the slaughter. He feeds you all of these things that make you act like an animal. Then he lets loose his germ warfare and biological warfare. You can't see because you're on that level already. And now AIDS is proliferating in the black community. And the interesting stat that just I heard the other day is our sisters, the black female, that the AIDS is increasing by 3 to 4 to 5 times the rate that it once was. What does that mean, sister? That means you have that kind of control and power over yourself to tell this man who does not have a true purpose set for himself nor for you. What do you look like opening yourself for a man who has not defined his own future? It don't make no sense to let him in and then you get pregnant. And then you're forced to disobey another law of God by murdering the child. You can't continue to live like that simply because you want a few moments of pleasure, simply because you can't restrain yourself. This is why in Islam we have courtship and we have chaperones, the old-fashioned way. Keep them out of trouble. I don't want nobody watching me. You know something? In Islam, we always want somebody with us. We're never taught walk alone. Always our brother and our sister. Because we always want someone keeping us right. Because it's so easy to slip. But if your brother is your keeper, he'll say, yo, 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 yo. All right now. I was nodding. But I'm not going to fall asleep. Sister, the same way. All right now, sister. I was just nodding. I'm awake. But if nobody's there, and you don't want nobody there, you know why? Because you can justify yourself. Couldn't control myself. I was taken. And in Islam, chaperone. And all those who come in courtship. Well, a brother is put to chaperone just to make sure everything goes right. That's protection for the female, protection for the male. And anybody that says they don't want a chaperone means that they want to have that open door there, just in case things start getting, a little warm. There ain't nobody telling you, stop. Islam is beautiful. But brothers and sisters, we got to get right. Master Farah Muhammad said we're out of luck if we don't clean up. We are out of luck with God, out of luck with ourselves, out of luck with civilized nations if we do not clean up and accept the righteous law of God. We don't need to be afraid of law. Don't be afraid. Know that law represents order. And if you're in motion, you must be given order. Otherwise, you will not stay in orbit. Everything that is in motion has to be maintained and sustained by a law. Otherwise, it will self-destruct. And we're self-destructing because we do not apply law to our lives that will maintain us in orbit, thus ruining ourselves, our homes, and the society, simply because we said we could not control ourselves. That's silly. I just can't help it. I gotta have my cigarette. Well, can't you see you're dying? Well, that's the chance I gotta take. And now, cancer. And look, cancer is killing us. Lung cancer, killing black men. All type of cancer is destroying us. Why? Because we don't want to eat right? Because we don't want to fast and get rid of all the toxins that build up in our body? We feel like we're getting sick if we stop eating. And grandmother told us we would get sick if you don't eat. No. Law keeps us walking right. So don't fear law. Let's accept law. Y'all all right? I didn't mean to put you all in your own private thoughts now. And every time you touch a law, people start floating, Is he looking at me? I hate when they talk about law. It's for your own protection. Sisters, you can always have a good man if you don't yield to your own desire and don't allow him to come in simply because he's knocking and he's smiling. Oh, baby, now you know. And they sweet talk you and woo you in. And then the next thing, are you going to commit? Are you going to commit? Well, I think about it. Put that on yourself by giving him too much freedom and liberty and access to you. You are a sacred creature preserved by God until the right man comes to you. Until then, walk with God, be with God, don't even worry about it. Because God will bless you. But I think, you can say, well, if you men don't come with that kind of mind, yeah, that's true. But biologically, God made it in a way where you can shut it or close it. That's all I got to say on that. That's all I got to say. So brothers and sisters, the moral backbone, let's clean up our lives. Let's put the law of God on us. Let's walk with one another, strengthen one another. Let us not be alone where we will be left vulnerable to the force of sleep to overtake us in an hour where we should be wide awake. You agree with me? Can we do it? Can we go forward and begin cleaning our lives and working? Because once we begin here, that'll spread to the family, it'll spread to the community, and the next thing you know, Brother Farrakhan will be speaking to the world and presenting to the world a new people. And then, if America or white folks decide to kill us, then the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the whole Muslim world will come to our defense. We have Muslims all over the world, and they are fierce fighters, as you see. They're not scared of white folks at all. They're not afraid at all. And they got power. But we are protected in right. God cannot protect and shield us in wrong. Every time we do that, we're taking a chance. May Allah continue to bless you. Let us help Brother Farrakhan. And the way we help him is we help ourselves. He would be so happy to see us live the law of God and to clean up. And it feels good when you clean up. It really does. You get rid of the thoughts. It starts right here. Because as a man thinketh, so is he. So may Allah bless and keep you, strengthen you, mighty FOI. We got a job to do. We got to go out here and be the peacemakers. But you got to find peace with your Allah first. Because if not, we won't attract anything. Peacemakers. Let us take Islam and take Brother Farrakhan, how he talks, how he acts. Let's take that to our people and be like him. If we be like him, we will be the winner. Isn't that right, sisters? You too, because he's an example for both of us. Is he not? The more that we learn to treat one another with the respect, with the honor, and with the love that is properly due to one another as God, the more Allah lifts us up, and the more we enjoy peace as we live, and not because we don't want that other kind of peace. If that's the kind of peace you want, that's not peace. Peace is not without struggle, it's not without pain, it's not without difficulty. If you want that kind of peace, that means you want to die. Life is about struggle. The struggle to live. May Allah bless and keep each and every one of you as I greet you in peace. Assalamu alaikum. All praise is due to Allah.